Hey everyone, Logan here, creator of SoundStage. Thank you so much for all of your support. It's been 1 year since I began the very first prototype for SoundStage, and I'm psyched to announce that version 1.0 is out. SoundStage is out of early access. I've added quite a few new features, including MIDI in and out and tutorial videos for every single instrument. Let's check it out. Every instrument now has a video tooltip. So when you press this, it'll audio play a video explaining the entire instrument and all the functionality. You can pause the video, resume it, and hide it. The air horn allows you to play 4 different samples with just the touchpad. So these are lighting up based on the touchpad of my Vive or the analog stick of my Oculus. Just press down on the touchpad to fire it off. The filter now has a control port. The Adsr roll and keyboard both have MIDI in and MIDI out. Check out the tutorial videos for more. In fact, I'm using MIDI in right now. Standalone MIDI in supports both notes as well as dials or sliders. The splitter merger is no longer limited to just 2. You can make it split out to as many or as few as you'd like. On the back side is the switch between splitter and merger. New Adsr Curve can be powered by a pulse from externally or by pressing the button on the left side. If nothing's plugged in, it'll just make a sound effect tied to the Adsr Curve, or you can plug something in to use it as a control signal. The metronome, you can still change the speed, and now it changes smoothly, and you can actually hear it click with this little dial if you turn this up. You can also pause the metronome, which pauses all the instruments tied to the metronome. This back button doesn't just restart the metronome, it also restarts instruments such as the drum machines from the beginning. So if I have the sequencer and I want to restart from the beginning, I can press this and it'll restart from the beginning. Or I can pause it, and now it's staying there, and again I can reset it from the beginning. And this way you can synchronize a bunch of these. This new sequencer is a multi-track timeline that allows you to record or draw events tied to the metronome. So I can hit record here, and whenever I press this touchpad, it'll generate an event. And when it comes back around, that event will trigger. It'll come out of a pulse on the back, or it can trigger samplers built right into it. So for instance, I could plug this one down here instead, and whenever I press this touchpad, it's going to play the sample. So and if I don't want to generate a touchpad or use a drum, I can also just press this little button here. Or I can just draw directly on. I can move them around, I can resize them, or I can delete them by pressing the touchpad. And I can also select multiple of them, move them around, and get rid of that, or just clear the whole thing. There are also timelines built into the Adsr roll and the keyboard. So that's SoundStage version 1.0. And it would not have been possible without your support. So thank you. I really appreciate it.